with a nice pausing breath, I simply say, good morning, beautiful people. I am Vicki Dieter, your practitioner spiritual director for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. Can you believe it is already the last week of May? Oh my gosh. It's like, hang on to your hats, especially because today is like double mint gum for us. We have many special things happening today because our service will roll right into our special Transforming Fear to Faith event that starts at 12:15 after service. So we have a lot to cover today, so I'm just going to dive right in, and I want to take a moment to make sure that you're aware of a couple of things because of the event this afternoon that are impacting service just a little bit, as is our way when we do special events. Sharing time after is going to wrap up at 11:45 so that we have the break. People can go take a little break and come back at 12:15 for the event. And so also we will be signing completely off at the end of service. We'll sign off the Zoom so that Vernon can capture the recording of that. The event this afternoon is not being recorded, and so we're asking you to just know you come back in for the event in the same way that you come to service. It's the same link. You just have to sign back on. And then last thing is that our practitioner of the week, Katrina, wants you to know that she's taking prayer requests by either putting them in the chat or by email for the same reason, so that she can comfortably attend the event. So all of that being said, let us take a moment to set our individual intentions for being here today. We set aside everything that has been, we settle into being together, and find your intention. And we're going to open our shared intention today, taking a moment to honor Memorial Day. Memorial Day honors all military personnel who have given their life for our country. I did a little research on this, and the first Memorial Day was May the 30th of 1868, and it's been May the 30th or that weekend ever since, which I did not realize. In 1892, one of the most famous Memorial Day poems was written by Frederick W. Emerson. And at that time, if you can imagine this, we had only 44 states in the Union, which he mentions here. So take a breath with me and just open your heart to honoring everything that has taken place in this nation to ensure that we could be here today. Our nation is reverently thinking today of the loved ones sleeping beneath the cold clay, of the sacrifice made and the brave deeds done to preserve our union as a glorious one. We will never be able to pay the great cost of the noble, the true, and the brave that were lost. But over their graves, with tears like dew, we'll lay our sweet flowers of red, white, and blue. Our nation is paying its tribute today upon the green mounds where these loyal men lay, while statesmen and orators fondly repeat the story of those who knew no defeat. They tell of the Union united again by the triumph of those who died not in vain. For the 44 states, all loyal and free, of the peace and the freedom from sea to sea. And beyond that, for this service, we expand even more from shining our light into embracing our hidden talents that are so bright and buried so deep. We're not even aware of the gifts that we've been given that stay hidden until we're ready for them. This may sound so strange and hard to believe, but beyond doubt, we all have gifts and talents we haven't even known about to be revealed. Today's sacred reading and meditation and a very special video that's in place of special music support all of that. Especially for this topic, we're so blessed to have Dr. Toni Lamotta back with us today. And of course, then she'll be leading us right from service into the Transforming Fear to Faith event. So, with all of that in mind, we open officially sacred space in prayer, acknowledging one life, one presence, one love, one law that has been invited in by the lighting of the God candle, and knowing that all of this preparation has set forth the path for us, for each person to give and receive what is theirs to give and receive, and that collectively it serves the larger, more perfect whole. And so I let it be, and so it is. And so I welcome each and every one of you with my whole heart to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter today. Whether you're here now or watching on Zoom, we thank you for your presence. And we just want you to know that wherever you've come from, whatever your belief system, whatever you were taught to believe, you are most welcome here. And that will bring us to our opening song to bring it alive within us. One Love by Playing for Change Band.
People get ready. All you need is faith. So people get ready. We gonna make it as the human race. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Yeah. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together, fighting this holy Armageddon. When the man comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances get thinner. There is no hiding place from the Father of creation. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
People get ready. There's a train a-coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key. Open the doors and board them. Don't need no ticket.
You just thank the
allowing that great joy to find its place. What a beautiful atmosphere to bring us into our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind, and celebrating all paths to God. And our vision, thusly, is a world that honors and respects all people. For this week, our application of what we believe follows from last week, and we're building a little momentum here, as you'll hear when we get into the offering that Katrina is going to bring us. This week's application of what we believe is another piece from Marianne Williamson's most famous quote. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It is in everyone.
For our morning reading and meditation, I'd like to share with you Eric Butterworth. There are no duplicates in creation. Every snowflake, every blade of grass, every grain of sand, a unique design. In the same way, there has never been anyone, nor will there ever be anyone just like you. You are a unique expression of the creative energy, of the universal focused internally as you. Yes, you are the divine original. And the divine intent, active as you, as one desire, to express expansively and creatively. It's uniquely as perfect of an idea as it is infinite mind. This is your spiritual destiny. And for our meditation today, we want to take a deep breath in and close our eyes so we can completely embody one of the most well-known spoken quotes. It originally came from from Marianne Williamson from Return to Love, and was expressed as Nelson Mandela in his inaugural speech. And it's a reflection of the principles in the Course of Miracles. So taking in a nice deep breath to embody this. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And taking that in at the deepest level of consciousness, remembering that there is nothing enlightened about shrinking, so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine as children do. So as we allow ourselves to shine today, embody that, allow that within you to shine so deeply, so greatly, so brilliantly. Breathing that in, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Katrina. It is now my pleasure to introduce, in place of special music today, a reaffirmation video. You are a miracle.
You are a miracle. Do you know that?
The universe is about 15 billion years old. And in all that time, there never has been, nor will there ever be, another you.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle. Take a moment and let that in. So your only job on this planet is to be you. Fabulous you.
To express who you are, distinct from anyone else.
To be honest about who you are.
To be the magnificent power and passion that is you.
To be the best you that you can be.
Look inside and notice the unique being that you are. Don't worry about what others think. That's not your job.
There is such a larger role for you to play here, where we all need you to just be you.
So you can bring us your particular knowledge and wisdom, your view of this life we are all living together, your particular questions that only you can ask about the universe, about love, about the meaning of it all.
Do you understand your value? Your unique, one-of-a-kind value? Take a moment right now and recognize yourself as a miracle, like no other person on earth, now or forever. How do you feel?
How does it feel to know that you were meant to express exactly who you are, with your particular gifts and your dreams seen only from your point of view? That's your only job here.
Yes, that's what you came here to do. And that's what each and everyone else came to do in their own way.
So what does that tell you about life and about love?
At the center of your life, it's all about you expressing your magnificent, fabulous self.
At the heart of giving and receiving love, it's all about the magic of differences.
Because that's the only way you can love someone, appreciating and respecting and enjoying someone in their own miraculous life.
And that's the only way you can be loved for who you are, who you really are.
So be true to yourself.
Celebrate yourself.
And bless the world every day with the miraculous magnificence that is you, singularly, uniquely you.
Because you are a miracle.
Each of these pieces is so rich. I just really, really want us to be able to soak it in before asking you to shift your attention with us to a whole nother piece. So we breathe, and here we go. As a reminder, our theme for 2023, Living Out Loud. Our theme for the month of May, Light Within the Shadows. And right here and right now, it is my great pleasure to formally reintroduce Dr. Toni Lamotta. Her talk today is embracing the fear of being what? Fabulous. Unleashing our golden shadow. And let me just see here. There might have been something else I wanted to say. So just so you know, if you haven't met Dr. Toni before, she is an extended member of our community because she's been here many times and absolutely, completely supports us with all that she has. She is a Centers for Spiritual Living minister, and she also serves Unity churches. And she has enlightened us in the past about the Enneagram and conscious aging. She's also very passionate about the perspective of evolution called spiral dynamics. And all of that really rolls into how she got passionate about transforming fear to faith, which underlies all of this. And so with that, I turn it over to you, Dr. Toni.
Thank you so much, Vicki. It's wonderful to be here. And I just hope you all really heard Katrina's messages and that brief video, because you are special, not just individually, but I see this group as being special as well. And if you got that message already, you don't need to listen to me today. I think it's all been said, but I hope you'll listen anyway, because I love the opportunity that I have to come in and speak with you here. You know, some people say that public speaking is a fear that's even greater than death. Probably some of you feel that, but for others, their greatest fear is the fear of aging. That's why we talk about conscious aging and, you know, can I manage to keep my independence as I grow older? We all have all those fears. And what about that fear of what if it doesn't work? Anybody have those kind of fears? Does that dominate your life at all? Is there anything you're not doing in life because you're afraid of what would happen? Interesting. I'm going to ask a lot of questions today. I found this wonderful quote from Babe Ruth. He said, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." Interesting. So I've been doing some research lately, and I found out that even a more prevalent fear, even more than death or failure, is the fear of being fabulous. You know, my friends who created that video, Judith and Jim are their names, and they define fabulous to mean any way you hold yourself back from being more fully present in your excellence in any part of your life. So it's playing down your accomplishments. It's battling away compliments. It's not going after promotion. It's not keeping yourself healthy and fit. It's not living the fullness that you actually are. So where do you notice in your life where you're not letting yourself truly shine? Where are you reluctant to say yes instead of no? How do you dodge compliments? Or do you fail to speak up at a meeting because your influence might be important? Are you afraid to ask for help, thinking others might see you needy or weak? You have difficulty accepting praise or compliments. When someone compliments you, for example, people compliment what you're wearing. I know I used to say, oh, this old thing, or I got it at a bargain, you know, we brush it off. Or if they praise something you did, do you dismiss it? You know, I once gave a talk where I talked all about that and asked people to begin saying, when somebody compliments you and says something nice about you or about something you've done, your answer should be, thank you. Yes, I know. Phew, breathe that one in. Thank you. Yes, I know. I think we've all been trained not to say things like that. So do you say things or not say things or do things because you worry about what other people might think? You know, we've been focused this month on the light and the shadows. And I know last week, Marie introduced you to Ava and how to choose to be the light. And see, I listen to your messages too. So I want to expand on that and introduce a concept that is called the golden shadow. And that was introduced by the Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung. And when he talked about the gold, you know, we all know about the shadow of the parts of ourselves that we hide. We're not even conscious of, we don't want them seen. And usually the shadow are the things that we see in others and we point out that we hate in others because they're deeply hidden within us, almost always. But he also talked about the golden shadow. And the golden shadow are the positive qualities, talents, and abilities that you admire in others, but fail to recognize in yourself. Think about the people that you admire and think about the things that you see in them. You know, finding your golden shadow involves exploring, acknowledging all those positive aspects that you've overlooked or undervalued. So stop right now for a moment and think about someone you admire. What about them in particular do you love? If you can see it, it's because it's already in you. It's just unacknowledged. Trust me on that. It's time to embrace our golden shadow. You know, we often dismiss the positive aspects of our personality and potential because we've suppressed or ignored it due to fear or societal conditioning. You know, don't say those things, don't think those things, or self-doubt. They represent that hidden brilliance in us that really is longing to be acknowledged and expressed. And so we shy away from the golden shadow, or what I've been calling today, the fear of being fabulous. And that's an irrational or an excessive fear of standing out in any way or of being perceived as extraordinary or exceptional or boasting, you know, all those things. It's characterized by a deep-seated anxiety or discomfort when we attract attention to ourselves or when we're in the spotlight. Can anybody relate? This making sense? You know, yeah. People who experience this fear avoid activities, opportunities, or situations where they might shine or be praised. You know, the consequences can vary from person to person. Judith and Jim are old friends of mine, and they did research. They've written several books. They actually have a website called Fear of Being Fabulous. If you want more of their work, I recommend it highly. And they also have a book by that title. And they also did research for a book called What Really Killed Whitney Houston. Interesting. They watched numerous online videos of Whitney, many that were taken at award events, and it was painful to see how she could not receive. She couldn't take the honors that were rightly given to her. She couldn't receive the praise and the love of her fans. And think of the many other actors and actresses for whom this was probably also true. Very sad. I really do believe that's what killed her and many others. And we don't have to be famous for that to affect us. You know, in our society, one of the keys way people hold back is because they don't want to outshine their parents or siblings. Interesting. In Judith and Jim's book on the fear of being fabulous, they talk about leaving home at any age. It doesn't mean literally, obviously, most of us are not still living with our parents Although many move away physically, we hold on mentally to our allegiance to their way of life, to our culture, to our upbringing, and to our parents. Perhaps you never went beyond your parents' income, for example, or worried because you were the first to be college educated, for example. Each of us hold things that the love of our parents holds us back. In New Thought, we say, change your thinking, change your life. Well, have you examined the things you think just because it was the way you were brought up, or the messages you heard growing up? You know, I remember one when I first started dating. My mom used to say to me all the time, don't excel what you're doing because boys don't like girls that are smarter than them. You know, that one took years to outgrow, trust me, you know. Or another one I heard all the time as a kid, if you can't say anything nice to someone, don't say anything at all. Now, how many of us heard that one? But it sounded good, didn't it? But as a result, how many of us never say anything we think might rock the boat, even though it's something we should be expressing to a group or a partner or a friend? We hold back what we know because of that message. Don't say anything if it's not nice. So, questions. So how much do you allow yourself to want? I remember going through a period of my life where money was really tight, and I discovered that I stopped wanting anything because I didn't believe I could have it. Interesting. And, you know, I can take that back to childhood and times where things were tight. And my parents would say, you don't need anything. You don't need to want. Have you settled for what is good enough? You know, I had this one woman in church who used to say, she was about, I don't know, I think she was 80 at the time. But she used to say to me all the time, I'm on a fixed income. And I often said back to her, who fixed it? Interesting. So she decided to stop saying that. And she really took that to heart. And you know what happened? This was amazing. That very week that we had that conversation, somebody stopped by her home and asked if they could buy a tree that was in her yard. And they paid her $500. This is back a number of years. That was quite a bit of money. And then besides that, she was just a delightful, lovable person. So they asked her if she would be willing to go through the neighborhood and invite others to also sell their trees. And at the age of 80, she began making at least $500 extra a week. All because she decided to let go of the limits she had placed on herself. Interesting. This is it. This is all I'm going to have. How well do you celebrate your own success? Do you ever have a celebration just for you? It's interesting. You know, one of the things I was thinking of, you can't see it online, but I wear sparkles on my eyes all the time. You know, even if I'm home alone and no one's ever going to see them. It's just a way to celebrate myself. It's fun. And, you know, people say when they are in my presence, they sparkle. I love it, you know. So, you know, the Harvard Business Review defines something called the imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one, but it's a collection of feelings of inadequacy persist despite how successful you are. That one's one I know. I mean, I think, you know, I'm not good enough, ever not good enough, imposter. Someday they're going to find out I really don't know, you know, and what happens then? Imposters suffer from chronic self-doubt and a sense of intellectual fraudulence that overrides any feelings of excess, any feelings of external proof of their competence. So anytime you feel shy, fearful, out of place, or inadequate. Any of those feelings? Let's see a hand raised so I know you're hearing me. Okay, thanks. We've all felt them. So you're no doubt experience a holdback from being fabulous. You know, it's there. The fear of being fabulous has a lot of common offense. It limits our self-expression. You know, we suppress our true talents, our unique qualities to draw attention to ourselves. We conform to society's expectations. We blend in with a crowd. We really have a lack of personal fulfillment and a lot of missed opportunities. It can prevent people from seizing opportunities for personal growth, from success, from achievement. They shy away from engagements and promotions and artistic pursuits. They're so afraid of the judgment might come. People with this fear have low self-esteem, constantly avoiding or downplaying abilities and achievements that lead to these feelings of inadequacy. They struggle with negative self-image and perceive themselves as unremarkable or unworthy of attention or admiration. I can't tell you how many people have come to me saying those exact words. Stagnation, they hinder their own personal or professional growth because they're afraid of challenges. They risk pursuing their passions. You know, I want to do this so badly, Toni, but I'm afraid. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not successful? All those things. You know, over time, the fear of being fabulous can result in a deep sense of regret and dissatisfaction. You can look back on your lives and feel a profound longing for the opportunities you missed. And by the way, if you're alive and breathing, there are still things you can do. I often hear people say, but I'm 77. I've been saying that myself. Like, really, should I be starting this now? You know, I'm about to launch a whole big project that's huge. And I keep saying, oh my God, but I'm too old to be doing that. So this message is for me, okay? You know, thanks for listening. I always speak to myself, and if you get something from it, I'm delighted. But it's really, you know, true humility is not the commonly held belief that you should suppress your gifts. It's the contrary. Sincere and true humility is the full expression of your gifts in order to honor their source. That source with a capital S, God, the universe, all that is. And you're going to love it. I'm ready to close now. And I have a passage that I read on the day of my ordination. And Katrina stole my thunder because she read it already. So you're going to get to hear this again. It's the passage from Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. And by the way, I don't think Nelson Mandela ever used it. I think that was erroneous. There were lots of people who gave him credit. And then we found out it was really Marianne. Who, by the way, is running for president. Speak about someone who's allowing herself to shine. You know, so the quote is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so other people won't feel unsure about you. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that was within you. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our present automatically liberates others. So I invite you to remember, you are a miracle. And we close knowing that the source of all good is light itself, is miracle itself. is the awesome fabulousness of being itself. And I, Toni, recognize right here and right now that who I am is made of this exact substance. Who I am is the light. Who I am is magnificent. And as I recognize that for myself, I recognize that for each person here. Each of us is a unique and special expression of spirit itself. Each of us, regardless of our age, regardless of our ability or disability, have absolute gifts still unreleased. And so today I invite myself, I invite each of us to open our hearts and our minds to see any place we have limited ourselves and to allow that to be fully and completely expressed. This day, I accept that I am fabulous. I accept my magnificence. I accept the divinity that expresses uniquely through me. And I give thanks. I give thanks for all the ways I have seen this in my life. I give thanks for all the people who have seen it in me, even when I haven't seen it in myself. I give thanks for all the blessings that are part of this community and all the gifts that have been showing forth already and will continue to blossom and express as the teaching chapter of Louisville. This day, I give great thanks for all that is. And so I let it be, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Toni Lamotta. I'm so grateful for you to come today. Your talk reminded me of a quote from Carl Jung, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who we really are. And I so thank you for your message today. So for our May Prosperity Affirmation, I am persistent and prosperous, life-affirming vessel of spirit. And I just wanted to thank you all for your time, talents, and treasures that you share with us. Please know that you can access ways to tithe in the chat. And I pass this blessing and gratitude over to Vicki. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, everyone here. Thank you, Reverend Toni. Thank you, Katrina. I just feel this constant flow of the giving and receiving that is going on in this space. And as is every Sunday, it is my privilege and my pleasure to anchor this time of our prosperity honoring with our basket that takes this energy and moves it through, and it overflows and goes back out to the community and comes right back around again. We so appreciate everything that you give of your time, talents, and treasures. And Miss Pat Ferguson blesses it every day of every week, and it just goes round and round and round. So in this moment, with this blessing, take that breath and imagine that in this space, you can be even more fabulous in your abundance, because as we become fabulous, all the resourcing it takes to support that fabulousness blossoms forth. So let us be ready with our containers. Let us be ready to become and receive and take it around and do it again. Thank you, God. I released it, I let it be, and so it is.
So for our announcements today, we are having a Fear to Faith workshop. And so what we're going to do after our service today is we will sign off of this link, and then we will return to this link. So we're just going to close out the recording and be present with Dr. Toni Lamotta after service, and that will occur Eastern Standard Time at 12:15.
Thank you, Katrina. And before we switch the slide, that's okay, Vernon. I just want to tell everybody that if you have the form that was sent out that supports this workshop, you can bring a printed copy of it or more than one in case you need another one. However, we want everybody to know that Reverend Toni has us set up. She's going to share the images of the form and some other things that she's going to be offering. She will walk us through verbally, and you can just write down the structures that she's going to show us. So if you did not receive any of that, don't worry about it. Just come anyway. And I would suggest everyone bring pen or pencil, whatever you like to write with, and plenty of note paper for the processes that we're going to do this afternoon. And that will do it.
On Thursday, our men's group is meeting via this Zoom link, so please join the men of our community for a wonderful time. Visioning is offered through our community the first June 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually via telephone. So you call in and you go through this incredible visioning process to support you in creating the life that you desire. Next week, our speaker is Miss Vicki, and it's going to be a fabulous discussion on the evolution of self-care. Our first Wednesday spiritual connection coming Wednesday is going to be Lava, and she's going to be sharing cultural identity and I'm forgetting the name of it, but cultural identity, and it's going to be a fabulous time to connect. And after the service, please join in by re-signing on. We will stay for a little bit of sharing time. If you would like prayer support, please include it in the chat or contact me directly for any type of prayer support this week. And as we affirm for ourselves individually and as a community, I want you to remember today, tomorrow, every day, you are magnificent.
Magnificent.
Our closing song is Say Yes by DL.
Open your arms and say yes to the best of your life. It's waiting right here in this moment of time, but this moment won't last. Now it's gone by, it's part of the past. Right here and right now is the chance to say yes to the moment at hand. Then embrace every day of the rest of your life. Say yes to your life, say yes to it all. If you fly or you fall, say yes. Open your voice and say yes to life. Morning and night, make joyful noise, celebrate, yes, with all you express. Hellos and goodbyes, the lows and the highs are all part of life. Now is the time to lift up your eyes and call in the light. Say yes to your life, make your voice heard, just speak the word. Say yes. Why wait for the race to be won? Why wait for the day to be done? Why wait? Turn your face to the sun. The rest of your life has begun. Open your heart and say yes to the love in your life. It's always inside, and love never hides from a heart of wine. The spirit is bright, it takes back the night, the wrong and the right. No more part of your life, your soul can take flight and carry you high for the rest of your life. Say yes to your life. The vision is clear. The moment is here. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes.
Okay, before we do our benediction, how about I'm gonna count down from 3 to 1, and we're all gonna do as we've been told. 3, 2, 1. Say yes. Taking a breath, making some room. Say with me our benediction. Today, praying for our nation, I remember our oneness with the divine, with each other, and with all life. I affirm that this is truth of wholeness is revealed in our nation as peace, harmony, joy, love, justice, and abundance. In gratitude, we are poised to receive guidance and blessings. Thank you, God, forever. Amen.